It is February 12th, 2024. We're here on the rooftop of the property located at 3658 Fairway Drive in La Mesa, California, 91941. We're here going to inspect the sewer lines for the house, and we're going to go ahead and attempt to also inspect the drain line for the laundry/kitchen to the most of our ability, but with old 2-inch pipes we can't always get through those, but the main thing is the sewer pipe. So here on the rooftop we have the original 4-inch cast iron vent. We've got some new ABS outside of the house by a clean out, which we have another camera getting ready to go through there. There's a little T-junction right there that picks up the vent for the lavatory sink that's next to the toilet. Right there's where the toilet dumps into the line. Here's our transition right here from the vertical to the first 90. Sometimes the camera will flip-flop. There we go. So you can see we're immediately running just a few feet out, or already outside of the house, and this is where the other clean out is, and there's our other camera that we have stuck in the pipe right there. Excuse me. So we just wanted to show and make sure that there was no problems with the venting and this connection point here, because this other T-junction doesn't allow you to sweep or come back into the house. So that's why we started from this point. We're also going to go ahead and give an attempt to go ahead and look at the drain line for the tub that's across here and the laundry. So we're going to pause the video and swap out, leave this camera in here. We're going to go look with another camera through these small pipes. Okay, so there's our first camera going down the toilet vent right there, and right across the other side of this bathroom is our tub vent. So again, these are small 2-inch pipes that they transition into. The vent is only 1.5 inches, so there's no guarantee we're going to get through any part of this, but we'll go ahead and give it an attempt just to see. So we can see we do have some plastic piping that was changed out here. So it's not old pipes here any longer. This tub drain was changed out quite a bit underneath. So we could see that the waste and overflow that attaches to the tub was plastic when we went into the bathroom. And now we can see that this has all been changed out. So you can see this is all new plastic going across here. And then we've got our transition to cast iron right here. And there's our original camera that we started with right there coming down from the toilet vent. So this tub line is completely open and clear. There is still the trap that's under the tub itself before it connects into the pipe we went into, but that would be just a simple localized stoppage. So the good news is they replaced all of this piping. So we're now going to move over to the laundry. Okay, we're here off the back side of the house, off the garage. So here's our vent right here, and we do have an immediate turn on the line on this metal vent pipe right here already. So I don't know if this vent pipe was cut or abandoned, or just because it's not really, no, it's probably just a really hard, difficult turn. There's a little bit of debris in there. So this is exactly why sometimes we just can't inspect some of the other lines. There we go. We got through some of it. You can see some of that debris just trying to push through. Let's see if we can actually continue down this one or not. Okay, there's the T-junction that picks up the laundry drain right there. So the trap and everything's to the left upside there, and then it continues down and across. And here's where it transitions from the vertical to the horizontal. This would be another tough turn here. So what we're going to do is just to blow this little bit of debris out and see if it helps move the camera through. We're going to turn the water on. If there's a utility sink or a hose in there, we can run. So we're going to pause the video. Okay, so we have the water running, as you can see. So here we go. We actually were able to make the transition with this small camera, and looks like this is plastic. There you go. So there, right past the foundation wall, they did change this out all with plastic. The home inspection company, I think he said that he thinks the kitchen was done as well, but he didn't seem to be able to verify that. So this is all nice new plastic. We're going to leave the water running, help pushes the camera out in this type of setup. We've got a coupling right here. It could be a T-junction that picks up the kitchen. So we'll go ahead and turn the kitchen water on once we get this all the way out, just to push across here. But it looks like this is going to probably dump back into the new stuff right off the tub. Now, once we shut the water off too, we'll make sure that there's no standing water in any of the pockets, which means they didn't have good proper slope when they installed the piping. But we only passed one little area that seemed a little suspect where the water built up kind of heavy as we were pushing here. I think here we go. So there's our push rod for the toilet. We just pushed all the way across the entire house. So that's good news for the piping and the house. So this was all redone. So we're going to go ahead and shut the water off from here, see if we've got any standing spots, and then we can run that kitchen drain, which we think is that T afterward, but it looks like the kitchen was probably replaced because it tees into this line. Okay, so the water's now off and subsided from this laundry, so we'll pull back here. So you can see there's a little bit of buildup on the wall, the pipe right there, so got just a little bit of standing water there, but it's pretty negligible, nothing we're concerned about. There's the T-junction off the left that looks like it picks up from the tub. I'll come back across this line here, which is going to be the kitchen and laundry. Let's see if that's a T or junction or coupling. See the glue there, but it does not look like a T-junction. It's not large enough to be picking up. Back up here. This is a very small camera, so it's not self-leveling. So the top of the screen is the bottom of the pipe right now. It'll alternate. It looks like it's just a coupling there. I don't see the junction from the kitchen, unless it was just dark in the shadows that we picked up. So oh, there we go. There's the junction right there, it looks like. So that should be the kitchen right there. So let me go ahead and leave our camera right here. We're going to pause the video, and we're going to go ahead and turn on the kitchen water and see if it comes across this pipe right here on the right-hand side. Okay, so there you go. We've got the kitchen water running, and there, in fact, is the kitchen drain come into this pipe. So it looks like they did replace all this connection and back. So the only vertical cast iron that we saw in the laundry, of course, is where it's passing inside the foundation stem wall before it transitions to get into the crawl space. The kitchen would be the same way. They can't obviously replace that up and across without opening up walls, and some of it's buried also into there, so just not very accessible. But that was wide open on there. So other than, again, localized stoppages, these pipes have most all been replaced and redone, so that's great news. So we're now going to go ahead and move here from the rooftop down to the ground level to look at the rest of the main sewer out towards the city connection. Okay, so we're here on the side of the house where this plastic pipe began from where they replaced it for the main sewer with this clean out. I must have got hit by a landscaper or something. The plastic's cracked there pretty bad on the top of the cap, but anyway, that was probably a lawnmower that did that. Wouldn't have been drain cleaning equipment. So we're going to go down, look across this remaining line here. So you can see this immediately, as soon as this goes down and we start going across this T, immediately goes into the 90 right here. So you can see this is the turn on the line. This is all cast iron, so they literally dug up just enough to put this clean out in. So the line runs almost towards the fence line, separating the neighbor here. So you got that little bit of cast iron pipe, then here's the T that they use to make the turn. So a lot of times builders don't use a 90, they use a combo T fitting, which is actually what should have been used on the bottom of this vertical plastic we went down. They use a sanitary T on its back, but here's this pipe here, so you can see we're going to push through this turn. There we go. We just made that 90. So we're now headed across here. Should be, looks like this is back to maybe clay material here. So looks like there's a good possibility that it's not. Back up here through that combo. There's the rough edge, rusted brown. You can see cast iron, and then we transition. So some neighborhoods on occasion landed up having long runs of clay pipe or a concrete, and looks like this is clay pipe. Does not look like it's been relined or that it's plastic. So you can see some of the reddish spots there where there's just debris that's worn it away. So to push across this pipe, we assume we are running towards the street in the front, not to the backyard to an easement. We'll have to determine that as we continue down the line here, but it is possible that we went to the backyard. I believe we made that turn. This is a self-leveling camera. We may have made a right-hand turn, so it may be headed to the backyard. This Fairway Drive may not have a sewer line in it. And that's sometimes why a property like this will see clay so early on. So the line looks good though. Clay we're worried about over time if there was a lot of trees or vegetation in a particular area, because there are couplings every 4 feet. The longest section of clay pipe, here's another coupling here again already. We're not really pointing them out, but they come up really fast because 3 and 4 feet, there's another coupling already, is the longest lengths they ever made. So, but everything looks perfectly clean and good, and clay is better than having cast iron, so not finding any roots in there, which is the only big drawback with clay sometimes, so, and that can be easily cleaned and maintained if we do run into any. Little bug right there. Let's see what we've got right here. So we've got some debris in the line right here, and it looks like we've got a possible root ball right here. Excuse me. And let's go ahead and try to push across this here. Looks like there's a T-junction possibly right there on the top of the pipe. Doesn't mean that that's exposed, but we do have one small root intrusion right here. You can see the little web of roots, and that has gone and clogged up some paper and debris on there. So we do have the first one. We're about 60 feet out, you can see. So we're going to pause the video and locate to see where this is at. Again, we assume this is in the backyard. So this sewer line does run to the backyard, and this sewer pipe right here is in the back left corner of the backyard. There's a huge tree on the neighbor's lot just on the other side. So we painted the ground with some green spray paint denoting the path of the pipe, and a circle and an X denoting where this root intrusion is. And we're going to put a stake in the ground with a green flag denoting this. Now the ground kind of slopes upward when you get to that back corner. It's kind of mounded up, so there's a little bit more dirt over there. We pick almost about 6 feet in depth, which seems probably the case because even over here by this clean out, we are 3 feet deep here for this ABS clean out on the side of the house. So with the slope and the grade change of the dirt, about 6 feet makes sense. So it's not something, again, that you'd want to dig or need to dig. And again, we did notice that it looks like there's a T here, and they did make T's for clay pipe. So this would have been the T-junction at the property line. So just before the fence separating all these properties is the clean-out T that all builders have to install when they're testing the piping in reverse when the house is built. So that is in fact the property line clean-out right there. They never brought it to surface in the old days. They didn't start doing that until the late 1980s or even into the 2000s and some zip codes. So anyway, this area here just needs to be cleaned up. The cheapest way is with a chain knocker to rip all the roots out in combination with a little camera. You can use a hydrojetter. Typically it's going to cost more money though to rip them all out. And the chain knocker doesn't have to use any excessive amounts of water, just a little bit running down through there. You could go ahead and run with a regular drain cable and a pretty good sized cutting bit, but you've got to make a lot of 90-degree turns to get out to there, or at least 2. And so unlikely that whacking around will clean it as quickly and as efficiently and perfectly as a chain knocker or a hydro jetter. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get through this little debris here. There we go. So we push through that really quickly. And then right there, okay, there's the city line already. So we just literally 2 feet past that is the end of the line. So right at the fence line, literally, that's separating the 2 properties, or the 3 or 4 that are in that back left corner, just past the fence on the other side is where the city line is. You can see the huge pipe that we've opened up to here with all the other homes that are upstream putting things down the system. So we've only got one issue with this system. Everything under the house looks in good condition. We saw that there was basically no leaks on anything. The leak under the kitchen sink is from the faucet itself that is spewing water from the handle and the spout area, but the drain pipes look good there. We know that everything under the house has almost all been completely replaced and is in good condition. And the clay pipe here and a little bit of cast iron on the main sewer is okay. Here's our roots that are trailing right there, and the big ball right there for that foot and a half or so. So this needs to be cleaned up really quick from this clean out. So again, you can see it starts at right about 60 feet out. So need about a 65-foot cleaning cable to make sure you clean everything out. And you want to verify that with a camera during the cleaning process. You're not leaving anything. But other than that, everything else is in good condition. This is the only thing that needs to be taken care of prior to move-in, so you don't get anything building up like you can see already on here. If somebody moves in with a lot of paper, a lot of feces and food, grease, debris, you could get a stoppage relatively early on for the amount that's already here, and that's going to continue to grow, of course. So that concludes the recording for this property.